Welcome back to Sports Divided College Pick'em Podcast presented by Mamas on the Hill. Episode 13, week 12 of the college football season. As you can see, Yuri's back. Kyle Leslie is no longer allowed to make any sort of bets on this podcast. He came in to the week last week at a whopping 0-2 on his locks. He then went 5-10 last week, so he's 5-12 on the season. 29.4% for Kyle, down 7.9 units in 17 bets. So
it's good to be back, boys.
Yuri's back again.
Got some Skittles.
Yuri's back. Tell a friend, Yuri's back. Let's go.
So maybe Yuri should start taking this method. He was not on the pod last week. He did give bets last week, though, and went 53.3%. He won the percentage last week at 53.3. Also was positive $30.
Oh.
So it puts him at a 96-121 record, 44.2%. But he's negative 33.8 units right now.
Chipping away, though. It's good to hear.
Tyler, you had one push that killed you from going 500. One push that killed you from going 500. 10, 10, and 1.
Shouldn't have bet fucking LSU. Would have been 12.
Shouldn't have hammered LSU.
Would have been 12 and 8.
For 47.6%. Only lost $75 on the juice. And one of those was because you moved that line down a little bit on Indiana, took it at minus 120. So instead of 14.5 at minus 110. I myself went 18-7. I lost $40. Could have been a lot better. 18-17. Sorry, 18-17. My bad.
Man, that was a great week.
18-17, 51.4%. Lost $4. Tyler on the season 104, 115-3, 47.5%. Negative 19.6 units. I am 187, 203. 187, 200-3, not 203. 48.32% and negative 20, pretty much negative 28 units. 27.98. Right. So that's where we stand right now. Before we get into the numbnuts, let's just talk a little bit about some games last week. Our locks, atrocious, except for the listener of the week lock, Colorado, -4. Didn't look like it was going to be that way. Didn't look like it was going to be that way. That was a rough start for them down at Texas Tech in Lubbock, but they came out, pulled it out, and ended up hammering Texas Tech when it was all said and done.
How about that team total hit?
Yeah, it did. 34. I think they scored 41, right? Something like that, 45, somewhere in there.
Did you see what happened?
That was a good little last-minute bet.
Did you see how they hit it?
No.
The total was 34.
I was at a wedding. I kind of missed most of it.
The team total was 34.5. It was at 34. 2 seconds left, and they tried ladder the ball back, and Colorado picked up the ball and scored.
Yep.
Oh.
I did that.
Well, speaking of scooping and scoring, happened twice in the final 2 minutes of a game in Columbia, Missouri that cost me the under in that game.
M-I-Z.
Hey.
I left Milo's.
As Drink said, keeping the playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, they'll be out.
At least in the run. Hey, easy.
Don't want to look too far ahead. They'll be out after this week. They'll be out. What time's that game kick off? 3:15. They'll be out by about 7:30 on Saturday night.
We'll see.
I was leaving the Blues game. Horrible Blues game. Pretty pissed off. Went up to Milo's to grab some food and have a pop to drink off the terrible Blues win, and was watching some of the Mizzou game. I'm like, you know what? This is a good time to leave. This game's over. Nothing crazy will happen. We'll probably just run out the clock, whatever. Get home, see the highlights. I was like, oh my God, how did I miss all this? It was fucking disaster.
Yeah, it was. Well, not only that, I mean, it was great
Great for
plays, but
somebody
then
who has
also, but it was good plays for like the throw to Theo Weiss for the touchdown, the grab by Luther Burden, and then you had some. I don't know what Oklahoma's doing. You've given up like the SEC lead in sacks this year, and you're a minute 30 in, or you're a minute left in the game or whatever. Why not just take that thing to overtime?
Yeah, it was weird.
Another game. What's up with Kirby Smart? Is Georgia frauds this year?
I think I'll tell you who's really good is Ole Miss.
Hey, did you hear about them though? They got squirrels now instead of having to fake injuries.
Yeah, I
Squirrels.
saw that. Scroll around the
They
field for time.
They release them onto the field to buy some time.
Come
Yeah.
on.
No,
True?
they've done it second time this year.
Yep.
Who's in charge of releasing them?
It's both of them just happened to happen after they got warned about injuries too.
Yeah.
Could you imagine some student, they're like, found this kid on the courtyard and is like, hey, man,
10-4.
you're
Release the squirrel.
Yeah, you're now the squirrel guy. You're going to have 2 squirrels in your pocket, and just in case, we'll buzz you in, and you got to let these things go out of your coat. What a fucking Jesus! That's cool. Crazy.
Another game. The Big 12 didn't help itself at all with the refs make calls to keep undefeated teams undefeated in that Utah BYU game. There was apparently a hold that led to a first down for Utah before they kicked the game-winning field goal, and apparently the only camera that had the hold in sight was from the top of the stadium, about 120 yards away. Couldn't really see anything.
It was ridiculous.
So
I feel bad for Utah, for the Utes.
And then we'll touch on how I got laughed at by Kyle for saying that Alabama was going to cover -3. They were going to score over their team total of 30.5, and the under of 58.5 was still going to hit. But all 3 of those cash. So sorry, Kyle.
Don't do it to
Sorry, Tyler.
Yeah, don't do it to the poor guy.
I don't.
Hey.
I'll have more in this game in my numbnuts of the week, but I don't want to get
on that note. That's the first loss of Brian Kelly's LSU career at night.
Yep.
So might be his last, because I'm sure the Bayou Bengal are maybe looking to run him out of town already.
No, his buyout's about $60 million, so he'll be here for another 3 or 4 years. It's all right.
But
got the number 1 player in the country committed, so
I thought according to Adam he was going to be a
no.
Sources have been saying, but Tyler's real committed to this guy, but I'll keep my cards close to the chest from here on out. Tyler, every time I send him something, he says it's fake news and made up, so we'll see.
No, I don't. I think the only reason that they're even listening to Michigan is because they're offering him a shit ton of money. He hasn't visited the school. He lives 30 minutes away from Michigan. He hasn't been there to visit
Should we
over a year. Been to LSU 7 times. Watch what they do, now what they say, right?
It sounds like it's a Dave Portnoy influence, maybe.
Yeah, him and the other people, but it doesn't matter. He's gonna be at LSU. So.
Do you want to make a wager by the end of his college career that he'll have a Michigan jersey on at some point?
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that bet.
So, is Schraub Moore done after this year? Is he gone?
No.
They're gonna hire a new offense coordinator. They're gonna hire some new staff. The big thing that he needs to do is get rid of Wink Martindale.
Yeah, he's thinking. But no, he'll be around for, I don't know, a few years at least.
It was bad coaching by him at the end of the game.
He's not a good coach.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard he said that the ref just didn't grant him the timeout. I don't know. I don't know if he's just covering his track.
Then they challenged that call that was not even close.
Yeah, that was dumb.
And he said, "I'm fighting for my guys." Yeah. What the fuck does that mean?
Well, it's kind of like
play.
Probably better off saving that timeout.
Yeah.
Everybody's bitching. You kind of have to just do it. I don't know. Whatever.
Hey, it doesn't matter. You're still the national champions until that, right?
Yep.
Not him, though. He wasn't the national championship coach.
Whatever. All we do is shit on Michigan on this pod, but
No. I just set it up for you.
It's all right, man.
It's a good time. It's a good time to transition into these numbnuts, Trout.
It is. Tyler, your first to 4 numbnuts of the week.
I only got one this week.
Wow.
Yep. Only got one. Didn't have time to get pissed off about anything else. Numbnuts of the week is Brian Kelly. Just I'm not going to call for him to be fired, but 3 weeks ago, you're absolutely controlling a game in College Station, Texas, to take sole possession of first place in the SEC, stay undefeated. They make a QB change to a running quarterback. Then your team absolutely implodes. No show, get outscored, dominated the last half of that football game. Then you have a bye week. You have the biggest home game of the season coming up. One of your biggest rivals coming in. You know exactly what they're going to do. You know exactly what the team's going to do on offense. Run the ball with the quarterback. And you did absolutely nothing to adjust. The same thing that beat you the 2 weeks prior beat you for 4 quarters last week. And it was absolutely embarrassing. No one knew how to tackle. No one knew how to angle. Took a good angle on the quarterback trying to tackle him. It was just embarrassing. Offense looked awful. Nussmeier just looks absolutely lost. The team just didn't look like they had any desire to play this week. So yeah, and that's why one of my bets this week is going to be Florida money line, Florida in the points, and I'm going to take DJ Lagway over rushing yards. So let's just get that out there. Trout, you can put that on my card right now. So just an absolutely embarrassing performance. Top recruits on campus, a fake fat tiger, Omar. Was on campus.
I thought that's where you were going with this because you said you were swearing up and down if they lost this game because of that tiger, you were going to come after that governor.
Yeah, it's stupid. And then did you see what he said this week?
No.
He said, "I stand by everything with a tiger." That tiger was the only tiger that showed up Saturday.
Carol Baskin's tiger.
And the tiger was so fucking fat it had like a gut hanging down from it. The poor thing was probably scared to fucking death. Anyway, yeah, Brian Kelly. I'm not calling for anyone to be fired here, but I mean, he's got to do a better job of getting these guys going. That's just ridiculous. That should never happen. It's probably the most embarrassing loss that one of the most embarrassing losses. I mean, we've had some tough ones, but yeah, it was terrible. Like, it's in a perfect spot, playoff spot on the line. Put yourself in the driver's position. You just absolutely did not even show up. So. We'll see what happens Saturday. Not exactly an easy bounce back spot going down to the swamp. So,
I did think to the point. I thought it would be a little bit of. I know I said it would be that type of like Bama covering, scoring more, and hitting the under, and that it'd be a little bigger of a score. I thought it'd be a bigger score because LSU moved the ball and Nussmeier just threw some picks. Like, I thought it'd be closer, but they didn't just capitalize on scoring. I didn't think it'd be game over 17 minutes into the game.
I mean, it was frustrating because like you're just hanging around the whole game. You're down by 2 scores, and you stop them on 4th down and get the ball back. And the very next play, the center just absolutely whiffed on. Actually, didn't even whiff. Didn't even let the guy run through. Nussmeier fumbles the ball. Yeah. So they go back to halftime. Down by 2 scores, still have a chance to be in the game somehow. Drive the ball right down the field easily. 1st down and goal, throw an interception in the end zone. So,
yeah,
TV went off after
that. Nussmeier threw for more yards by 120 than Jalen Milroe. Just so.
Yeah, I mean, if Milroe plays like that the rest of the year, Alabama could win the national championship.
Hey.
I just placed 2 futures this week to win the national championship. Took Ole Miss 10-1, and then I took Notre Dame at 20-1.
I think there's about one team in the college football playoff right now that I don't see having a realistic chance at winning. And who?
Boise State.
No. I like Boise. I like Boise a lot. Ashton Genty can run through people for 3 games. You never know.
No.
But it's a team that would, because of who it is and because I have no faith in them too, probably will win it, and that's Indiana. Tennessee. Because Tennessee sucks. Tennessee sucks. Indiana's going to be out after this week.
We can save the playoff talk until we get a little closer. Then we can really break it down.
Indiana's probably going to be out. Adam, you're numbnut.
My numbnut's going off the gridiron and onto the golf course. My numbnuts are the fans that are standing next to Caitlin Clark on the tee box at 1 and not expecting her just to shank one off their forehead. I mean, how stupid are these people? This girl plays basketball, and they're standing 5 feet from her and not expecting a ball to go whizzing past her head. That was one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. Like, you know that she's not a golfer, and the fucking fairway is 10 feet wide of, like, you know she's not going to stripe it down the middle. Those people are idiots.
Yeah, that was funny.
I did like how she pulled the classic Kyle Leslie, just pull the golf ball, breakfast ball
right out of the pocket.
Right out of the pocket, tees it up, swings again. Breakfast ball. So funny, but those people are fucking idiots for standing right there. That was my numbnuts. What an idiot.
So my numbnuts.
Great video.
Oh, hilarious video. You know it's coming too. As soon as you see her teeing it up, you're like, is this going right to the gallery or is this going through her legs left to which side is she putting this thing into?
And you got to feel for it. I mean, that's got to be just so nerve-wracking.
Well, yeah, especially when you don't do it, right? So my numbnuts, I could have just doubled down on what I did last week because how dumb does the Florida AD look after that? Saying Billy Napier's our coach for the rest of the season. He's good, building a great program. Oh, we're down 35-0 at halftime.
They gotta save the buyout because their basketball coach is sending dick pics to all the girls and stalking them.
Yeah, tough look there.
That's what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just laughing though. Again, this Florida AD could easily be the numbnut of the week again, but instead, I already talked about it a little bit. When your offensive line is the worst offensive line in the SEC, you're in a tie game with 45 seconds left. John Finley and Brent Venables, what are you doing trying to have Jackson Arnold throw the ball downfield? Just hand the ball off, get to overtime, and see what happens. Nope. We're going to do this.
Not screw up again.
Yeah, we're going to do this. Jackson Arnold's going to step up in the pocket. Oh, strip, sack, Zion Young, touchdown. It's all over.
All over.
So
is Arnold going to be playing for Oklahoma next year?
I bet he stays now that they got him back, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Michigan.
He's got too much NIL money, I think.
Maybe Michigan's new quarterback next year might be Castellanos from Boston College.
I think I remember saying something that I would take that guy.
Doesn't he? Yeah, you did. But
except
doesn't
he just got benched.
Yeah.
Doesn't he scream like Vandy now after Diego Pavia?
Diego Pavia is suing the NCAA to play next year.
I know, but doesn't Castellanos like scream like, "Hey, this is a Vandy type quarterback again"?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
They don't have to do jack shit to switch anything. But all right, anything else you guys want to talk about last week before we get into this week's games?
I'm on to Florida.
Okay, Adam.
I need some lean. Not last week, but early in the week. I'm usually big on the action, and I have 0 leans so far. So, any listeners out there got some leans on some action? Let me know.
Automatic bet every single week. I'll tell you guys this right now.
The over.
The tight end for Bowling Green receiving yards over.
Yeah,
that's a little more in depth than me just taking the over in games because it's action and shit gets wild on Tuesday nights.
That's the best tight end in college football. I'm not even kidding.
I mean,
Kent
State is so goddamn bad. It's embarrassing.
It's my action. So is Central Michigan. Central Michigan is good if they cover. It's good if they cover, not win. If they just cover the game, it's a great game for them.
The spreads are just so big in these games too, and you just don't know who's going to show up.
Because it's a Tuesday.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
But, I mean, think about it. You go to Northern Illinois right now. They're 5-4. They won a game at Notre Dame this year.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that's true.
That is not
action. It's some action all year, baby. All right, let's get into this. First game we're going to talk about. We're talking about 5 this week. Slate's a little down. We don't want to force games down, down our betting throats because it's just some bad lines.
Listeners don't want to listen to that crap either.
Yeah. So 5 games this week, then plus our lock, our best bet. So we'll get into it. First game we're talking about, 25th ranked, the Tulane Green Wave on the road against the Navy Midshipmen. Tulane -7. Over under 52.5. In case anybody's curious, Navy plus 225 on the money line. Tyler.
Won't see me leaning that way. I love this Tulane football team. I think they're coming on strong. New coach has the boys playing great this year without Willie Fritz. I think Navy's struggling a little bit after that Notre Dame game. They have not looked the same. So yeah, give me the Tulane Green Wave -7. They're gonna win it by double digits. Easy peasy.
Yuri.
Navy is definitely struggling, and I'm not going to sit on this pod and tell you I know a ton about Tulane. I have zero clue on anything Tulane football, but I have heard that they can score, and I have heard that they can't stop a nosebleed. So for me, that screams over. So without knowing anything about Tulane football and knowing that Navy can run some options, maybe they have a little get-right game. No clue on the spread, so I'm just going to take the over.
I'm with you on that over, Yuri. But I also like Navy to keep it close. Tulane in a tight one. Give me Navy +7.
Maybe we know a little bit more about the old Tulane squad.
Well,
I'll tell you, Navy and Tulane are combined 13-6 to the over this year. Yuri.
Yes.
Okay.
Tulane is 8-2 against the spread. Navy is 6-3 against the spread. Here's where the kicker comes in, though. 64% of the bets are on Tulane -7. 71% of the money is on Navy +7. The Sharps know something.
Something I do know about Tulane is they got a hell of a good-looking baseball jersey, kind of the Cardinal style with the
powder
Pelicans. I think on the two ends.
They're not even like powder blue. I don't know how to describe them. They're like it's like a green with like a.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good jersey, great jersey,
great jersey.
It's like a neon light blue.
It's great.
Almost.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Great jersey.
Great jersey.
I love when they pull out those helmets.
Yeah,
like the blue stripe with the blue stripe on the helmet.
Good looking gear.
Tulane's a good uniform school. Uniform school.
Good colors. You wouldn't think baby blue and like a darker green would work. Man, does it hit.
You know what?
That slaps.
I'm getting horny on Tulane. Give me the spread. I want Tulane now.
All right.
The gear. Strictly on the color.
Tulane -7 in the over.
What's what can I get the 6.5 at? Just in case.
Oh, here we go. Yuri moving the line already.
Yep, let's see.
Let's see. So if we swindle that line down to 6.5 for Tulane. If this wants to load. Here we go. 6.5. becomes minus 125.
Perfect. Right under the threshold.
They're going to win by double digits.
Half, strictly on the jersey.
Okay. All right, we're going to head a little bit south from Navy down to Columbia Southeast. Columbia, South Carolina, as the battle for the Governor's Cup takes place. 23rd ranked Missouri Tigers taking on the 21st ranked South Carolina Gamecocks. The spread right now, South Carolina minus 13.5, over under 43.5. Tyler.
Yeah, give me South Carolina minus 13.5. I really, really like this squad right now. And also get me Mizzou team total under. This South Carolina defense is the real deal.
James Neal.
Real deal James Neal. Defensive line is outstanding. I think they get after the quarterback here. I think Mizzou's going to have a tough time moving the ball. Tough environment to play in, too. Remember, I told you guys, I've been telling you, it's a tough environment to play in.
Watch out for those Burns.
Sandstorm?
Yeah.
Where they're jumping over, rushing the field, falling into the Burns.
Yeah, into the bushes, the hedges.
Hedges.
Uh,
We're not between the hedges. That's for a later game.
We're not between the hedges, but they're gonna destroy Mizzou. Mizzou shouldn't have won last week. If they win this game, if they didn't win last week, what is this line this week? That's what I like to say. Not 13.5. I'll tell you that.
What's your insider saying on Cook?
Game plan.
He's out.
Done for good?
No. He'll be there for senior night.
Yeah.
Black Friday or whenever they might have, I think they moved that game to a Saturday. Now it's no longer Black Friday because it's not on CBS. But
whether Cook's playing or Payne's playing, they're not beating Pine.
Yeah, come on.
Not beating,
they're called pine cones. That's what the fans are called him. They're pine cones.
Sorry, I haven't been keeping up. Whether Cook's playing,
yeah, the Drew Pine fans are calling themselves pine cones.
I didn't know that.
Well, the Pine Cones not beating South Carolina. South Carolina might be one of the hottest teams going right now. So,
they're a couple plays away from being in the playoff hunt here.
They could mess around and find out. South Carolina minus 13.5.
Got it?
That's it.
I love this spot for the Tigers. Not so much because of the Tigers, because you always get the Frank Beamer ball or Shane Beamer ball happening sometime. I thought it was going to be last week, just a week early. They're going to shit the bed. They're South Carolina under Shane Beamer. It's what they do. They have bad games. They have these games that they're like, oh, we should not have a sweat at all here. Oh, we get blown out by Vanderbilt. Oh, we lose to Kentucky. It's happened years gone by. Mississippi State gets them. Plus, I think Drew Pine might have found something with being able to climb up in the pocket finally. No, I'm not saying like he's going to go out and have this great day, right? But that there was 3 straight drives of him stepping up into the pocket and actually being able to make plays and throws. So maybe something finally clicked.
Sucks.
Hey, that Drew Pine that won 10 games at Notre Dame is in there somewhere when he threw for over 2,500 yards in the season too. It's in there somewhere. And if he can just throw the ball and put the ball up for Theo Weiss and Luther Burden to go grab, sure, why not?
All right.
I also think
I don't know.
Goggle Man's going to have a bad one.
Lenoris?
Yeah. He's going to have a bad one. Those DNs, that Mizzou D-line is going to be after him all day. That's going to be what saves the Tigers. It's what keeps them at plus 13.5. But I do like the over in this game too. Over 43.5 also. And I'll sprinkle some on the Mizzou money line. Just cause. Just cause. I'm telling you, it's a Shane Beamer game. When we sit here next week and we go, Shane Beamer got us again. And then Eli Drinkwitz is going to go to the podium and say something like, that old ball coach Steve Spurrier, those Gamecocks don't beat us every time now anymore. You got to find another old coach like Bob Stoops to yell at, so it'll probably be Steve Spurrier. Maybe it'll be Will Muschamp, maybe. But he's beaten Will Muschamp too many times.
All right.
There's also something about Mizzou against South Carolina. They've won 5 straight. They shouldn't have won 2 times ago down in South Carolina. Beat them. It's just...
I love this spot for South Carolina.
I love this spot for the Tigers. Stay in that playoff hunt.
Somebody's going to look like a real fool come next week.
Probably will be me.
Two of you will.
All right. Good luck.
All right. We're gonna head a tad bit west from Columbia, South Carolina, up to Manhattan, Kansas, as the Arizona Sun Devils head on into Bill Snyder Family Stadium, 6 p.m. ESPN against the 16th ranked Kansas State Wildcats. K-State minus 8.5 at home, over under 50.5. Tyler.
Is Scuttleboo playing? Yuri?
Yes. Scuttle bro. Skater bro.
Scuttleboo.
I heard today he was playing.
All right, I did too.
Guys can run.
Arizona State +8. Give me him. Scuttleboo.
8.5.
8.5, even better.
All right, so there's a good story about Skater bro. When NCAA football first came out, I had Fridays off, so Kyle and I would take Tyler's PlayStation and hook it up at Kyle's house, and we started Be a Pro or Road to Glory, whatever it's called, and our quarterback played for Arizona State. So of course we're trying to win the Heisman, throw all over the place. We're terrible, so we're throwing picks. We guys sucked. Our Heisman skater, our running back Skater bro, wins the Heisman as the computer player, as we're on our team. The craziest thing I've ever seen. A creative player on our own team wins the Heisman, and we were like 500. Guy ran for like 3 touchdowns a game. So I do know Skater bro, based on the game, is a good running back. K-State's probably going to have to run the ball, so I'm expecting a low-scoring game. Give me the under, and give me the money line, Arizona State.
Ooh, that ASU money line right now sits at plus 250.
Oh, Scatterboo.
Skater bro, we call them. Won the
So,
Heisman.
I don't know. I struggle either way as far as this. And the thing is this opened at the exact same numbers both ways as it sits at right now. There's been zero movement at all on this game. Which
a low bet game.
Maybe, but it's also kind of makes me wonder, like, what's going on? So if you look at it, Arizona State 7-2 against the spread.
Good
K-State 3-6 against the spread. They're combined 5-5. Well, 10-10 technically on over-unders. 5-4 for Arizona State towards the over, 4-5 towards the under for K-State.
9-9.
Yeah, good math. Yeah, my bad. I even messed up. I said 5-5 to start, and then I was like, no, it's 10. No, I was already looking at something else. I was already moved on. Just moved on to the money. So I don't know why it doesn't make sense if Arizona State is 7-2 against the spread at +8. K-State is 3-6 against the spread, and it's -8. 81% of the money is on K-State, while 32% of the bets on Arizona State, which means that's 63% of the money.
Seems like you're just overthinking this one, guy.
Yeah, I think
it doesn't make sense. And then here you go. So they're even on over-unders. 98% of the money, 98% of the bets are on the over of this game. So I'm just going to follow the money. I'm going to take K-State -8.5, and I'm going to take the over 50.5. Because I don't know. Just get a weird vibe on that game. Weird vibe on that game.
This could be the game where K-State just comes out and beats them by 30.
Exactly. Because that's what K-State can do sometimes, and it doesn't make sense. Just like the last game we're going to talk about. Same kind of principle with it. It can easily happen that way, and it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. But I digress. We're going to move on to the game of the week, obviously. What was that face about, Tyler? You don't think this is the game of the week?
No, I do. I thought we were going to do that one last.
No. Go by times. We'll save your boys for last. The team that shouldn't have won and did win.
Okay.
Your boys versus the team that won that shouldn't have won.
Yep.
We're going to head between the hedges, 6:30 ABC. The 12th ranked Georgia Bulldogs take on the 7th ranked Tennessee Volunteers. Georgia -10 at home. Over under 48.5. Tennessee +290 on the money line as the 7th ranked team in the nation, according to the College Football Playoff. Tyler, what do you got?
Yeah, I've heard multiple reports on who's playing and who's not playing. So I've heard one person say Nico's not playing, and I've heard another person say Nico is playing. I'm going to bank on him playing in this game. Playoff spot on the line. So I don't know. I don't feel good either way. I'm going to take give me Tennessee in the points, and then also give me the under in this game. I think it's going to be a tough game, and I just don't trust Carson Beck. Not enough playmakers on the outside for Georgia either. They can't get separation. Tennessee's got a fantastic defense. And also, you know what? Give me a little taste.
+290.
Yep. Can Kirby lose 2 in a row?
If he loses 2 in a row,
I just don't trust that. I don't trust the way that they're moving the ball.
Do you think if he loses this game at home to Tennessee, he's on the hot seat?
No.
What?
But
it's Hear me out. Think of all the off the field trouble.
No.
You don't lose 3 games at Georgia.
What were they doing before he got there? He's won 2 national championships.
Yeah, but it was Mark Richt.
He's had one down year.
Going nowhere. Franklin's going nowhere.
He's had one down year.
Did anybody hear this Big Cat rumor? Not rumor, but his like circle of coaches that would just like ruin life. He thinks
it was
Lincoln Riley going to the Bears. They stay mediocre. James Franklin leaves and goes to USC because he's flirted with USC. Frank Signetti goes to Penn State because he's a Pittsburgh guy. Takes Penn State over the top. He's like, and the Bears are just mediocre, and we suck.
He's down bad, man. He is down bad.
They're bad.
They're bad.
They're bad.
They're bad. Shout out to all the Bears fans out there, man. I feel for you.
Tennessee +10. What's the under again?
48.5 +290 on the money line. Yuri.
Yeah, Tyler's pretty spot on. I'm going to be on the under as well. It's definitely who can get their shit together kind of game. Nico versus Beck, and I really don't trust either one of them. So I'm going with the under. I might have a game time decision based on vibes. But right now, I'm not going to take a team. But I'm leaning towards Georgia's just because I feel like Georgia's ceiling's higher than Tennessee's. But
wow,
man, I mean, it's just they look so bad. But I don't trust Tennessee either. So I'm sticking with the under right now. Maybe something comes out and I feel more comfortable taking a team later. But right now, just get me on the under.
Yeah, I think for me, the under for sure. As far as the side, I know I jokingly said, does he lose 2 in a row and is he on the hot seat? Until Kirby Smart loses 2 in a row, I will never believe he will lose 2 in a row, and I will never believe he won't put an absolute god stomping on the team the next week. Doesn't matter with Carson Beck without. I'm not going to take their team total over because I think this could be like a, I don't know, 17-0 win, and Tennessee just doesn't move the ball because Georgia's defense just
I'm
hammers
waiting for
them.
that defense to show up. They're lucky that game wasn't as bad as it was last week. Ole Miss didn't have their best player.
Not only that, it was also they got lucky that it was in the rain the way it was. Monsooning all across America.
Yeah.
But so I'll take UGA minus 10.5, and I'll take the under 48.5 in this game. I don't know. Kirby Smart is Kirby Smart until it's like it's the Nick Saban syndrome, right? You're Nick Saban until you're not. So until you prove me wrong or prove that you can go that opposite way, I don't think I'll ever believe that you can go back-to-back non-covering games.
I saw a stat. I'm trying to find it. I can't find it.
While you're looking that up, do you guys? Yeah, I mean, how crazy the amount of hype that Carson Beck got with Heisman talk and draft talk, and now this last 2 weeks.
So I don't think it's crazy because he was good last year. I think he missed his chance to leave, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
he should have just left.
He just looks completely off, especially under pressure. He looks.
Well, I mean, some of it is a little bit of. They lost 3 guys off their offensive line, 2 of them that went in the first round,
and their best player.
Yeah.
Well,
not who are you talking about? Because Brock Bowers was out most last year, but he doesn't have Lance McConkey either to throw to.
When times got tough, you just.
Oh yeah, Ladd, not Lance McConkey.
Here's the stat I was telling you guys. Tennessee held its first 8 opponents under 20 points. The only defense to do so far. There was 4 other defenses to accomplish that since 2000.
Was one of them Georgia?
2003 LSU, national champion. 2011 Alabama, national champion. 2012 Alabama, national champion. 2021 Georgia, national champion.
Huh. And what did I say? The only team I don't think has a realistic shot to win the national championship will probably win the national championship plus 1,900, the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah. So.
God, I hope not. I cannot deal with that fan base if they win. I don't even interact on Twitter with people, but just seeing the shit that fan base would do and say, and
yeah,
they're already arrogant enough, and they haven't done jack shit since T. Martin in 1998. They have one good year, and all of a sudden they're back.
1998. Morgan Wallen's
literally. It's Texas. They have one good year, and we're hearing they're back.
Also,
Jesus.
Texas just should not be. I told you we're not going to get ahead. We'll wait till next time.
Playoffs?
Yeah, we'll talk about it next time.
All right, let's move on to the last game that we're going to talk about as far as all of us picking. We're going to head on over to Provo, Utah, as the BYU Cougars, the 6th-ranked team in the land, take on that team from west of Missouri that wears blue and red. BYU minus 2.5 at home over under 56.5. Beakers plus 120 or 115 on the money line. Tyler.
Yeah, we already know where I'm going here with this, boys. I've been on this team for probably the last 3 or 4 weeks. They've been a covering machine. Their record is a lot worse than what it is. Also, when I said that earlier about Mizzou, look at that. What does this line look like if that game looks different last week? I could almost argue that Kansas might be a favorite in this game.
If Utah wins, you're saying?
Yeah, if Utah wins.
Probably.
Not only is Kansas going to cover this game, they're going to win this game outright. BYU will be eliminated from well, actually they won't because they can win the conference tournament, but they're not going to win the conference championship either. BYU is going to fall out of the top 10. Kansas is going to cover. Kansas is going to win.
Okay. Adam.
That was pretty convincing. The problem that you didn't say is it's a night game. BYU always plays well in the night games there, buddy boy. But I do agree that, I mean, even just looking at their last 3 games, all close, all kind of down to the wire, all very emotional games. Another time just for them to, I mean, there's only so many times that you can get by on a close game or a late score. So
look at Miami.
I kind of want to take Kansas in that, but I think this is a good right spot for BYU. BYU. Give me BYU points. And what did you say the over-under was?
56.5.
Fuck yeah. Give me the over.
Kansas almost scored 56 by himself last week.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Emotional. A little nervous about the over, but I like the line. Give me the over.
So, Kansas, I know Tyler went through it last week. Blah, they're not as bad. Blah,
They're not.
They're 2-3 in their last 5. BYU's 5-0 in their last 5. They've had a scare against Utah. They had a scare almost a month ago now against Oklahoma State. I mean, relatively, I'd say they had a scare. It was a 6-point game in September against Baylor. And they scored a late touchdown, I believe, to make it a 2-score game against at UCF that Saturday before Halloween. So they haven't been playing great. Doesn't make sense why it's minus 2.5. But I feel like this is usually you talk about rat lines being like weird lines that work out. I feel like this is the opposite of that. It's a weird line that like is going to get people to think it's a rat line. And then at night in a whiteout at BYU's just going to hammer the Beakers. And I mean hammer them. So, I don't know if that's going to happen, but like that's the way this line kind of feels because like to your point, right, Tyler, like it probably shouldn't be this close if BYU is really the 6th team in the nation. But yeah, if they lose, what's the line look like? So, that being said, I think this is the way I'm going here. So, I'm taking the over of 56.5.
It's going to be a wild Provo, baby. A lot of soaking.
What'd you say?
There's going to be a lot of soaking in Provo.
Yeah. I'm going to stay away from the side.
Oh, come on.
But I'm going to take BYU team total over of 28.5. And the over in the game.
All right. I like it.
It just, I don't know. Like like I said, this could be a 1-score game. This could be a blowout. This could be a 1-point game.
What's Kansas' team total?
27.5.
Telling you they're going to cover.
But that right there is why I feel like it's like the reverse of a rat line.
No.
Because it's just
BYU.
What?
All the money's on BYU. I'm looking at it
It
right
is
now.
not.
Yeah, it is.
No. The bets are on BYU. The money is
I'm looking at the
46.56.
I'm looking at the money line.
Oh, money line. Well, yeah, the money line. Yeah.
BYU's
money line's 95%.
Parlay. Kansas is winning this game, boys. You can tell me next week. I wish I would have listened to Tyler.
It's basketball season, man. They don't
I've
give
been
a
on this team. I've been on this team for
They just celebrated Bill Self becoming their winningest head coach for cheating for most of his career in Fog Allen, getting help from the refs.
Basketball season.
It's brutal. They suck. They get help from the refs. Their school sucks.
Dickinson sucks.
I feel like that's a little personal for Adam. All right. We're going to move on to the Mama's Combo Parlay. Our locks, listener of the weeks, stays the same. They hit their lock. They were the only people in the Mama's Combo Parlay last week to hit the lock. They had Colorado -4 at Texas Tech. The LU Hockey Boys are back this week as they head down to Florida Gulf Coast. Not a bad little way to spend a weekend in November down on the beach, getting 4 points from the Eagles.
All business. All business.
They are riding with the Buffaloes again. They got Colorado -11.5 at home against Utah. Utah coming off an emotional loss to BYU where it got snatched out of their hands by the Big 12 refs. So Colorado -11.5. Tyler, your lock.
I'm taking the Baylor Bears, sick of -2.5 at West Virginia. I really like this spot here for Baylor. West Virginia's coming off a win against Cincinnati where probably shouldn't have gone their way. Cincinnati kind of gave that game away a couple of times to them. I think I was on Cincinnati last week too. So, but yeah, give me Baylor -2.5. Gets me back in the win column in my lock of the week. So, sick 'em.
Yuri.
All right, boys, I got a winner for you. Illinois at home, coming off a bye. Altmaier gets right, smokes the little brother at Sparty. We're going with Illinois -2.5.
So how weird is that? It's a 1:30 kickoff. When do you ever see a 1:30 kickoff in college football?
FS1, man. They got nothing else to put on there.
Big Ten, how about schedule games?
Their best ones are at noon.
Yeah.
It's brutal. It's brutal. So my lock, I'm hammering them. Talked about it last week. I'm gonna continue to hammer them as much as humanly possible because they need it. I have Notre Dame -22.5 at home against Virginia. I know we have one listener that'll be happy with that pick.
They're a freight train, man. Best team against the spread here.
They have to be. Again, we talked about it last week with Kyle. I cut a lot of it because it was talking in circles with Kyle. Notre Dame does not make the playoffs if they just win the rest of their games by one score, a couple points here or there. They have to hammer these teams they have left. There's no way around it. They have to.
Well, they're doing a good job of it, so.
Yeah, they have to beat Virginia handily. They have to beat Army handily, and they have to absolutely hammer USC at USC to end the season. Or they leave themselves very susceptible for a weird conference champion to win the conference and the other team in that conference still stay in the playoff mix, let alone if they slip up. So we got Colorado -11.5 at home against Utah. We got Illinois -2.5 at home against Michigan State. We got Baylor -2.5 on the road at West Virginia. We got Notre Dame -22.5 at home against Virginia. That pays out for a Mama's Parlay $1,012.85 on a $100 bet.
Let's get it.
to this point of last week, our mama's parlay was over Friday night because of the Colt fan himself, Kyle Leslie. We try to tell him, hey, Yuri said he stays away from those Friday night games. Stay away from the Friday night game.
And I tried to tell him I love UCLA in the game. That was going to be my lock, and he took it.
Yes, she did. UCLA won outright. Correct? I didn't forget that incorrectly. UCLA won outright.
Yes.
So.
And they turned the ball over like 2 times in the red zone. It should have been even worse. It was lucky to get close.
But on that note, for Notre Dame also, I do like Notre Dame's team total over of 36.5 and the over in the game of 50.5. I think Notre Dame might hit that all by themselves again, like they did last week. So,
you're looking good,
Tyler,
man.
Your best bet.
My best bet? Florida plus 5, Florida money line, DJ Lagway over rush yards.
Okay. Jesus. Yuri.
All right, I'm just going to rattle off just a quick few. Since I wasn't here last week, I need to answer the bell for Clemson for fucking up. Nobody brought this up, but I'll raise the hand. Clemson fucked us, but I'm going to get back on the Clemson train, minus 10. We talked about it quickly, but I like SMU handling Boston College.
They are the Pony Express. They're not handling the Pony Express.
No, the Pony Express is going to handle Boston College.
Minus 19.5?
Yep. And then finally, on the same note as Notre Dame, I really like Penn State handling Purdue. Notre Dame, Oregon, Ohio State all put up big numbers against Purdue. I think Penn State's going to have to do the same thing. So Penn State crushes Purdue.
Okay. Me, I really, 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 really like Oregon minus 14 at Wisconsin. I like the over 51.5 in that game. I like Oregon team total of over of 33.5. And then another team that's gonna have to win, and they won a game and they dropped in the rankings. If they want to make sure they stay in that hunt, especially as the leading G5 team, give me Boise State minus 13.5 over San Jose State. They have to win that one, and they have to win it big, impressively. And I think the team down in the swamp has just given up. I think they're done. I like LSU minus 4 and the over of 54.5. And maybe Stanford plus 20.5 at home. Louisville has to travel to Stanford for a conference game at 2:30. Seems a little fishy. So you can also add Stanford plus 20.5 at home against Louisville.
At LSU, my card.
Anything else you guys want to talk about? We could have got into the leaked contract that came out that Michigan and Ohio State can't play any games past 2:00 after daylight savings time. Don't know how that happened, why that's in contract, but that is.
Really a thing?
Yes, it is. That's why it came out that way, because all the Ohio State fans are complaining that every game for the rest of the season's at noon for them because of big noon kickoff.
The big noon Buckeyes, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, there's apparently it's in their contract that they both those teams.
Speaking of the Buckeyes, someone's coming into the Hornets' nest this weekend. They're gonna walk away with 0 points because they got a stiff opponent.
We are talking Linwood Hockey at 17 Community Ice Center.
And shout out Linwood Football, biggest win in program history last week over SEMO.
Yeah,
SEMO.
Get that on my card.
No, I couldn't find it. I couldn't.
Linwood.
Man.
Did you find it on No Juice?
Of course not.
Exactly.
That's not my fault. That's my bookie's fault.
So where was I going to find it? It wasn't on ESPN Bets.
I don't know. You got to work harder.
But
you got to work harder and send me the proof.
All right. Speaking of work harder, I am ice cold in hockey bets. I know this is a football pod, but man, send support my way.
And my way for that too.
Me and Elio are just down bad.
Yeah, I have a future bet that is looking god awful right now. Not in the NHL. It was a plus 2,000 for a NFL MVP bet.
Dak.
No, not Dak. Aaron Rodgers.
I knew it.
Not good.
He
Not
might-
good right now.
That'd be
But-
bad.
Well, good stuff, boys. It's good seeing you.
Yeah, that'll wrap this one up. Yeah, Yuri, good to have you back. Glad.
Back, boys. Hopefully to have some stories from Mama's Day Out.
Yeah, Mama's Day Out Saturday.
Yeah, we might have to do a little longer pod next week.
Yeah, we will.
Maybe we'll have to record 2 days to get it. Jesus.
20%. All right, we gotta wrap this up.
We're done. All right, Mama's Combo.
Can't make
Remember, bet that parlay. That wraps up episode 13, week 12 of the Sports Divided College Pick'em podcast presented by Mama's on the Hill. Go get yourself a chicken parm, seafood linguine.
Trout was in there Saturday, baby.
Maybe a pizza Friday. I was there Friday.
Yep.
Got a lot of good eating on Friday.
Yep.
All right, guys. See you later.
See you, boys.
Peace.